Hunting for a new job with a higher salary and better work-life balance is nothing new. But recent data shows that more and more people are making bold decisions to leave their jobs after only a short period of commitment. Now, what's behind people being comfortable with leaving and settling somewhere new? For more, we're joined by Dr. Sarah Park. She's the head of Korea at GP. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Now, let's first talk about the trend itself. More people are becoming interested in leaving their current workplaces for new jobs after only a short commitment period. Why? What's the motivation behind the move?
Right. That's actually a very good question. And for background, quitting and job changing are indeed a trend. And I'm sure most people have heard of the terms the Great Resignation and quiet quitting in 2022, as it's been talked about quite a bit. I would say that it peaked last year in 2022 because of the ongoing global talent crunch that companies are seeing, and many industries were lamenting the lack of talent and HR and talent because, those different sectors really had a difficult time finding talent to fill in those spaces that companies were actively and aggressively looking for. In fact, the global employee survey that was conducted by GP at the end of last year showed that 60% of South Koreans would consider changing jobs if the right offer came up, because only 44% of Koreans surveyed were happy in their current roles, meaning that more than half people that were surveyed are unhappy in their current roles. And I think that can speak as to the job culture that might exist now in this part of the world. It could be that companies might be a bit aggressive in the way they're expecting employees to commit to their roles. And the new generation are different than older generations, and they like to have a position that really matches their personal needs and their equality and their corporate social responsibility.
Right. As you have just mentioned, there was the Great Resignation in the U.S. that described the record number of people who left their jobs since the beginning of the pandemic, and also the quiet quitting, which means doing the very minimum required at a job without effort or enthusiasm. Now, why do you think these work trends still exist?
I think these work trends, it would be difficult to say that they still exist, because we are not so sure that this trend would continue in 2023, particularly in the tech space. We do see that the overall talent shortage is actually slowly improving, and I think that's due to the influx of talent seeking jobs in the job market based on the massive layoffs that have occurred at the end of 2022 into 2023. So we see that companies are really being more prudent in how they hire and how much they hire because of the predicted oncoming recession that we see coming down the year. And it seems that work performance is going to be a bigger issue for companies as they look to cut out inefficiencies. And they would like to make sure that they are not hiring people who are not ready to commit themselves to the company.
Right. Then, is there any positive way to look at these phenomena? Because some may feel it's good if people can find more favorable opportunities for themselves, while others can also argue that it's neither good for companies or individual workers. And when it comes to nurturing talent, business investment and growth, are these trends good or bad? What do you think?
I think it's a double-edged sword. It's definitely a good thing in the sense that it gives companies more responsibility to be better employers and to take care of their employees on the sense in HR and in the company practices and the culture that they follow. On the other hand, it does encourage a quality of laziness that could occur, that employees feel that they don't have to put in their full into a company and begin to just lay back and really perform the minimal amount of work. So I think having a balance between the two, having a balance between companies' expectations and the way they treat their employees versus workers, how they perform work and to what level of quality they perform work, finding the balance between those two can really help companies and employees have a really sweet spot in between.
Right. Finding that balance has always become the crucial part of anything when it comes to life or work, right?
Right. That's for sure.
All right. Thanks for your insights this morning.
Thank you.